Hi everyone, Armine Bazikyan here, and this month we're going to be talking about having a trust but ending up in probate. Why does this happen? So this is a very unique scenario where sometimes somebody would have already, let's say the client already did planning, they put together a trust way ahead of their death, so they have all their documents in place, but when they pass away, for some reason or another, their estate ends up in court, in probate. Why does this happen? So this is a very, very common problem that we see in the estate planning world. And it's actually a few reasons that might pop up that leads a person's estate to actually get dragged into probate. The most common, number one, reason would be that there's some sort of creditor's claim or outstanding debt that the person owed. Your creditors can actually open up a probate case for your estate and drag your trust into that proceeding in order to get paid. So drag your estate in or open up an estate to get paid what it was that they were owed. The second most common reason is that you simply forgot to transfer an asset into your trust. So there might have been a new purchase of a new asset, or an asset might have been removed from the trust, but they forgot to put it back into the trust. Basically, at the time of death, there is something that is in the decedent's name personally. And so a probate proceeding or some type of petition needs to be filed in order to transfer that asset into the actual trust. We have a pending case right now at our office that is exactly this scenario where the individual passed away. He had an LLC interest that was never placed into his trust. And so we have a proceeding open with the California court in order to drag it into the trust. The third reason is that, sometimes people want things to go through probate. Even though they have a trust for certain beneficiaries, there are certain assets that they intentionally leave out of their trust in order for those assets to end up with their heirs. So the most common of this that I've seen is a parent who has a trust in place for children of current marriage, but cannot give anything to children of previous marriage because wife disagrees, and so they intentionally leaves out a asset from that trust and allows the court to take over and allows the statutory laws to dictate who it goes to, in which case it would be shared by all children for that particular scenario and the wife. So that would include previous children as well. So it might be an intentional act. Going back to the mistake, I have had clients in the past that have accidentally taken something out of their trust and then forgotten to put it back in. And this usually happens during a refinance, meaning some other third party is actually involved in the process of taking things out of a trust and then forgetting to put it back in. Or in this particular case, they put it back in, but they put it back in incorrectly. And so they recorded the deeds in the wrong order. And so at the end of the day, it was still in the decedent's name, and we had to go to court. We had to file a petition and ask the court to transfer and to allow us to deem it to be a part of the trust. And the court agreed with us after reviewing the decedent's will and general assignment and some of the other backup documents that I tend to almost always create for my clients just in case for this scenario. So make sure that you're consulting with an attorney who is aware of all of these procedures in the court and has actually seen some of these mistakes play out in real life, because through witnessing these errors as a result of actions by the previous attorney or client, we get to actually understand the best way of planning to ensure that there is a backup plan in place for clients so that it doesn't happen. So consult with an attorney you trust who's going to put together a backup plan for you to cover your future mistakes, possibly, as well as the mistakes of other people in your life, other representatives of you in your life that might come into play making an error for you. Feel free to consult our office if you have a trust in place and need us to review it and see if it's going to get the job done in case of a surprise after death. Feel free to give us a call.